Hi guys, Dr. Cliff Olson from Applied Hearing Solutions, and in this video I'm teaching you how to clean and maintain a receiver-in-the-canal hearing aid. Coming up. There are many different styles of hearing aids on the market right now, but all of them require some level of care and maintenance and cleaning in order to keep them functioning properly. And even though there's a bunch of different manufacturers that make receiver-in-the-canal style hearing aids, it's important to understand that they all generally have the same processes that you would go through in order to clean and maintain them. So what I want to do in this video is show you the simple things that you can do from the comfort of your own home in order to preserve the cleanliness and longevity of your own hearing aids. The first thing that we'll do is change out that wax trap. You may or may not notice that it's plugged, but for preventative reasons we'll want to make sure that we remove it and replace it with a new one. And that's what this tool is for. So we'll take the one end, push it into the center, and pop out the old wax strap, and then we will flip it over and push in the new one. And it should stay. I always give it a tap with my finger to make sure it's on there all the way. The next thing that we'll want to do is take a Kleenex and wipe off the entire hearing aid. Once you have all the earwax and debris off of the hearing aid, we're okay to start with the brushing. So we want to make sure that we brush over the microphone ports, and there might be several on the hearing aid depending on which model you're working on. Get the rear microphone, and then most of these devices have a push button. We want to make sure that we brush off around that push button. If any debris gets into where that push button is, it will prevent that button from working. And same thing with the microphones. If we have any debris over the microphones, we want to make sure that we keep that out of there, otherwise it won't actually pick up sound to amplify. What we can also do is open up the battery door and brush out any debris that's inside of the battery compartment. If too much debris builds up in there, the battery won't make contact with the battery contacts and the hearing aid won't turn on. Lastly, what we want to do is clean the dome. And when we're cleaning the dome, we can take an alcohol swab and make sure that we get all the earwax off of it. If you don't have an alcohol swab, you can also use a Kleenex for this. And then I always like to take either the wire tip of the cleaning tool and push it through the tip of the dome to make sure there's no wax in there. And we can even take the wire end here and stick it through to make sure all the earwax is out. You can also just replace these domes altogether if you need to. And then we're going to push it right back over the top. Now another thing that you should be doing as part of your regular maintenance plan for your hearing aids is using some form of a dry aid kit. Some kind of kit that can pull the moisture away from your hearing devices. I tend to like the ones that force air through the hearing aids, which generally get them drier than ones that you just put in a container and has some silica beads in there, but doesn't necessarily circulate any air. That being said, if you're not using anything, you should be using something. And the price can range anywhere from about $10 up to $150, depending on the caliber of dry aid kit that you get. But even the $10 one is better, absolutely better than nothing at all. That being said, another thing you should absolutely be doing in order to maintain the cleanliness and performance of your hearing aids is getting them professionally cleaned every 3 to 6 months. If you're the type of individual who produces a lot of earwax or you sweat a lot, it's definitely something you should do closer towards the 3-month area. And if you're someone who generally has clean ear canals, doesn't sweat a whole lot, you might be okay extending that all the way out to a 6-month period of time. But hands down, if you want to maintain the clarity of your hearing devices and you want to and get them to last as long as humanly possible, getting regular maintenance done by a hearing care professional is the absolute best way to do that. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.